Hello, welcome to the webinar. Thanks very much for showing up and joining us tonight for this event. This is Bob McLean, head guy at newbiesystem.com. We've got a great show for you this time. This is one of the Newbie Nation tactical series of webinars designed to help you learn new skills right now that you can take out and expand your business. Got a fantastic episode for you here, so let's get right to it. Today we've got David and Tammy Stanley from IgniteYourFreedom.com, and they've got some really great information for us about communications. But before I start, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about them. David and Tammy both have got about 25 years in the corporate community, doing a lot of jobs involving communications, networking, being with a lot of people, leading a lot of people. Probably about 5 years ago, they got introduced to network marketing and fell in love with the whole concept. The ability for any one of us to make the life of our dreams is very, very attractive to them, and they got involved. So today, David and Tammy have followed up on that networking success by getting into the business and getting into the passion and the purpose of helping other people succeed as an entrepreneur. And that is the start of freedom. Excuse me. That is the start of freedom and abundance for all. That is the mantra that they espouse. So they got into their business, Ignite Your Freedom, and since then they have become published authors, they have become speakers, they have really gotten out into the world to share the message of freedom and abundance for all. So they're also a whole lot of fun. We really enjoy spending time with them, and I know you are as well. So with that introduction, let me welcome to the show our friends David and Tammy Stanley. Welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, newbies, for having us to join the show today. We're very excited to share with your community and the entire Newbie Nation. We've got a really powerful message to share, and we're just excited to be here, so thank you.
Thank you.
That's it. So we want to start it off, and we want to give everyone a question. So if you can make sure that you have a pen and paper with you, that would be fantastic and will really help you to A, remember some of the things that we share, and B, just to actually participate while we're droning on and talking, because we're not overly exciting to look at, but we love to see you guys. So yeah, just grab a pen and paper if you can. So let's talk about one thing I want you to think about is how important is communication to you? So Mark, if you can go over to the slides, that would be great. And we just want to see, sorry about that, we have to get the slides to start, right? How important is communications to you? On a scale of 1 to 10, mark that number down. How important is communications in your business, in your personal relationships, with your family, with your friends, with your neighbors, if you have a job at work, if you are a business owner or an aspiring entrepreneur? How important is communications in all of those areas of your life? Write that number down. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being communications is extremely important, it's very important, to 0, doesn't mean anything, doesn't make a difference, doesn't impact any area of my life. How important is communications to you? Okay, so after you wrote that number down, although we're not actually with you, we're pretty confident that any number that you have, it's probably the lowest number that anyone has written down is an 8, and the highest number is 10 plus 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 plus. We've heard, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's the 100.
100. Yeah,
correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Communication for so many people is life for them.
Exactly. And the one challenge is that I don't recall learning how to communicate in school other than sit down, be quiet. When I call your name, I will ask you a question. David is extreme ADHD, so I'm sure you had a fun time with communication at school.
But that was the whole thing, is that nobody taught us how to communicate. It was just one of those things that while you were running around the house, all you heard was no. So I knew no right off the bat. That was number one I always heard. But after that, it was really just communicating with friends. Like, nobody taught you how to communicate effectively. They taught you grammar and they taught you spelling, but nobody taught you effective communication.
Yep, so true, so true. So one thing that one of our mentors teaches is that everything communicates, but communication is everything. So everything that we do, whether it's nonverbal cues or verbal, everything communicates. But everything is communication. Everything in your life is communication. So we've got a little story for you. So if we can take a quick look at the slide, and it's the nail in the fence story. And I'm just going to read it off so I make sure that I don't mess it up. But there once was a little boy who had a bad temper. His father gave him a bag of nails and told him that every time he lost his temper, he must hammer a nail into the back of the fence. The first day, the boy had driven 37 nails into the fence. Over the next few weeks, as he learned to control his anger, the number of nails hammered daily gradually dwindled down. He discovered it was easier to hold his temper than to drive those nails into the fence. Finally, the day came when the boy didn't lose his temper at all. He told his father about it, and the father suggested that the boy now pull out one nail every day that he's able to hold his temper. The nails passed. The days passed, not the nails passed. Let me read this properly. The days passed, and the young boy was finally able to tell his father that all the nails were gone. The father took his son by the hand and led him to the fence, and he said, "You've done well, my son, but look at the holes in the fence. The fence will never be the same. When you say things in anger, they leave a scar just like this one. You can put a knife in a man and draw it out. It won't matter how many times you say, 'I'm sorry,' the wound is still there." The little boy then understood how powerful his words were. He looked up at his father and said, "I hope you can forgive me, Father, for the holes I've put in you." And the father said, "Of course I can." So, this really shows us that what we do, what David and I are very passionate about, is verbal Aikido. And let's kind of go through what verbal Aikido is, and then you'll see the link into that story that we just told you about how it totally works well with that story.
That's right.
Really, right?
How you manage your emotions, and how that son was able to start to learn how to manage his emotions.
Right, and how everything kind of comes from self. So if we just take a quick look at the slide, there is some kanji symbols here, so majority of you probably won't be able to read what these say. But if you can take out that piece of paper again where you did the 1 through 10 for communications and write the word AI and then KI and then DO. So these are 3 Japanese words, and all combined together they spell Aikido. And the AI stands for harmony, the Ki stands for power, and the Do stands for the path. So Aikido represents the powerful path to peace. So beside the I, if you want to write the harmony, the Ki, the power, and the Do, the path.
Yeah.
Anything to add on that one, Mr. David?
No, but just right underneath that, my real strong suggestion is to put all those together, Aikido, and then just put, is the powerful path to peace. So you know exactly what this means. And this is what we're going to be working on today, is actually the powerful path to peace. How can you manage yourself?
Exactly. So if anyone's a movie watcher out there, you may know of an individual who is an actor. You may not think he's a fantastic actor, but he is an actor nonetheless, and his name is Steven Seagal. And he is a master verbal Aikidoka. So if you ever see Steven Seagal in a fight scene or any type of scene, you'll always see him with the open hands. He's non-confrontational. He could whip your butt like there's no tomorrow, so he has a lot of strength, but he doesn't use that to coerce other people to do things that they don't want to do.
Absolutely. If you ever take a look in any of the YouTube videos or the movies that he's been in, when he is in front of another person who is willing to do the attacking, his hands are up. They are really saying to everybody is, I'm not fighting, you're fighting. I am at peace. Why do you have to come this way? So his hands are up, and it's really a sign saying, I'm not here to fight. And that's what Steven Seagal, and that's what Aikido is all about.
Exactly. Aikido is that powerful path to peace. I'm not a threat. It's always a win-win or no deal. It's, nobody gets hurt in this interaction unless they really want to get hurt and they're provoking to get hurt. So what is verbal Aikido? So the secrets to the kingdom for verbal Aikido, there's 3 main secrets, and if you want to write these down, that would be fantastic. The first one is calm confidence. So think about Steven Seagal, think about a non-confrontational interaction, and it's usually somebody that has that calm confidence. They're not trying to coerce anyone or, use their strength or strong-fisted or anything like that. It's that calm confidence. There's the safe strength. So it's like, I'm okay, you're okay, we're going to get through this interaction. And then there's the pure motivation. And that's one of the huge keys right there, is that pure motivation.
Absolutely. The pure motivation is what ties it all together.
Yeah, so combine all these 3 secrets to the kingdom, and you have ultimate success. If you have calm confidence, safe strength, and pure motivation, who would not want to do business with you? So imagine that all of your communication, everything that was verbal and nonverbal, had an element of these 3: calm confidence, safe strength, and pure motivation. What impact would that have on your life? What about on your business? What about on your career, in any of the relationships that you have? Imagine if you went into each of those with a calm confidence, a safe strength, a pure motivation. If anyone has a teenager, imagine that communication between you and your teenager with calm confidence, safe strength, and pure motivation. Would things be different?
And that's really kind of cool. If you leave even just this event tonight and you go out and you start watching people, if you notice that there's good, strong leaders that are standing in front, are on the stage, are some of the top earners in network marketing, or those people that seem to have it all when you're out there just in your social life, you're going to see them walking different, they talk different, they have that calm confidence about them. And that is very attractive. When you can go up to somebody and they can talk to you with that safe strength, they are confident in what they are talking about. They can project a safety around them that you feel so comfortable that you can talk with them and be able to share with them with everything that you wish to do. The other cool thing is those with pure motivation, you know who's being honest with you. You know those people that don't feel slimy. If they're there and they are being themselves, they have pure motivation. There's no manipulation involved. It's just motivation. It is pure when they're talking, and you can feel that with those people. That's really something to take away, even when you're going through this whole event tonight, is those 3 things are really what makes the difference in the conversation and how people perceive you.
Yeah, exactly. And this is really one of the big things that we share in our 2-day Verbal Aikido experience, and also in our online home study course, which is Verbal Aikido for Ultimate Networking Success, is we teach people how to come from these 3 places. What are these secrets to the kingdom, and how do you get them?
Absolutely.
Okay. So now back to the nail in the fence story that we shared earlier. The first foundational aspect that the boy had to take care of, and we must too, is really manage ourselves. He was unable to manage himself, therefore he had to put the nail in the fence every single time that he lost his anger. He wasn't able to take care of himself, to come from a place of calm confidence, safe strength, and pure motivation. So the first foundational aspect that that boy had to take care of was really control self. And again, that's what we really take care of in our 2-day experience. The entire 2 days, the first full day is all on how to control myself. How do I take care of what's happening on my inside so that what I'm projecting on my outside is this calm confidence, safe strength, and pure motivation?
Absolutely. You want to have that enhancement and the ability to manage your own internal voices, you could call them too. Because as people get more upset, there's that internal voice that kind of keeps going. And that's really what that emotional intelligence is all about.
Exactly. So taking care of these three will really help to get us that controlling of self. So now on your paper, I have three more chunks of words for you to write down. The first one is that control self. The second one is manage interactions. And then the third one is influence others. These three combined, that's verbal Aikido. Control self, if I control myself, I'm able to manage an interaction between me and somebody else, or me and you, me and a group of people. And once I'm able to manage those interactions, only then do I have the right to influence others. Often, and I know myself in my past, that I've really failed in effectively communicating is when I jump into that influence others. So with our son, if I jump into telling him exactly what to do and I'm saying it in not the best tone, I'm not controlling myself. There's no way I can manage the interaction. I'm definitely not influencing his behavior at that point.
That's right. It's very true. Yeah.
Yeah. So the controlling self, note that the big thing is that this has to be in place before you can even move forward in managing interactions and influencing others. If you don't have that self-control or that ability to control yourself, which in that story of the boy with the fence and the nails, it wasn't until he could see his behavior and acknowledge his behavior and then control his behavior, then he was able to change his future interactions with people. So that control self, I know we keep saying it quite a bit, but it's so important.
It is one of the most important things. And you see that outside all the time. If you go to a hockey game or the football games or sporting events, you see people in the stands and there's no control. They're yelling, they're screaming, and there's nobody really listening to them. And those who have self-control are just looking at those people in the stands going, okay, I don't really understand why they're yelling and screaming so much. Don't get me wrong, when I was growing up, being ADHD, I didn't have a lot of control. I got into, just yelling matches with people, and I didn't realize that that wasn't effective communication. It's actually the opposite of effective communication, because once you get out of control with somebody, they've already stopped listening.
Right. So not having that ability to control self severely restricts our ability to manage interactions and influence others. So think for yourself, how valuable would it be for you to have the privilege and honor of being able to influence others to make an informed decision in their own best interest? How important would that be for you in your personal life, in your business, in your career if you have a job, and or if you're an entrepreneur or an aspiring entrepreneur? How important would that be to be able to influence others? Kind of just give that a little bit of thought. What about to influence somebody else to join your business, somebody to become your customer, somebody to refer your services and or your business to other people? How important would that be to you?
And if I could just add, Tammy, when we're talking about influencing others, it is not a term that we use lightly. It's not domination or control or manipulation. When you're manipulating somebody to do something, to join your business, to do something at the workplace for you instead of them, or even your teenagers, when we start looking at manipulation, people pick up on that way too quickly. Manipulation and domination are signs of weaknesses, and people see those, and they see right through you, therefore it doesn't work. And when we take a look, especially, and I know this for personal experiences with our son, I'm thinking, well, I'm the dad, I need you to do that. It wasn't a one-on-one, it was a parent-child conversation. And it was really eye-opening when I realized that I was being dominant. I was manipulating my son to do something, and he saw right through me. But at the same time, I had to give myself leeway because I didn't know anything else either.
Right.
I didn't understand how to effectively communicate, and I did not at all understand pure influence.
Well, kind of like what Oprah says, when you know better, you do better.
Exactly.
And you
100%.
didn't know at that time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
true. So think about the need to control yourself, and that it really isn't our circumstances that cause something to happen. It's really that controlling,
Yeah.
the self-control for us. And we know ourselves from, I know, Bob, thank you very much for the great introduction. You mentioned how we started in the network marketing field a little over 5 years ago, and at the beginning we failed miserably, and the primary reason for that was we weren't controlling self, we weren't managing our interactions, and we were definitely trying to jump to the influence others. We were vomiting our business down people's throat, for lack of a better term.
Absolutely.
Really trying to strong-arm people to become our customers, and it backfired on us huge. Until we were able to control ourselves, and then it became so easy to manage those interactions and influence others. It was just like night and day.
Yeah, absolutely. And sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, it was just something that was people can smell hunger on other people. You know when you're hungry.
Greedy rather
Yeah,
than.
well, greedy, hungry, wanting,
Mhm.
desperation.
Yes.
They feel that.
Yeah.
And that's something that when you're able to get that self-control, it's not there.
So to kind of bring this home, this controlling self, David is going to run us through a story. And I want you to fully participate in this story and yeah, really put your body movement in it, put your mind in it, listen to what he's going to tell you. So just, that's my biggest piece of advice right now, is just fully participate in this.
Yeah, this is going to be exciting because I have to say that we've done this in front of hundreds and hundreds of people in live audiences. This is actually our first time doing it on air, online. So it's going to be a little bit different, but I'm hoping that you will participate. I'm hoping that you will see the change that all of a sudden you're going to be able to experience. If you close your eyes, if you feel what's going to be happening, if you do the movement, I can promise you that you will get something out of this.
So immerse yourself in the story.
Yeah. All right, let's do
Okay,
it. So
it's all yours.
So a little while back, I'm jumping on the subway, and all of a sudden, I see these kids, and they're running around with their dad, and their dad just sits down, and the subway's packed. And all of a sudden, I'm looking, I'm going, wow, man, these kids are going crazy. They're running all over the place. People are trying to read newspapers, like the morning paper, and these kids are going boom, boom, bouncing back in the subway. Now, just imagine they just got on, the door's closed, the kids are screaming and yelling, and you're now moving to the next stop. So just get a little bounce in the seat, just close your eyes, just imagine you're on the subway. I'm sure most people in our audience have been in the subway. And all of a sudden, we get to the next stop, and the doors open up, but these kids are just going at it. They're running, they've hit my newspaper. I actually spilled my coffee. What would happen if somebody, while you were on the subway and your coffee got spilled because some kids were running around? And all of a sudden, the newspapers, and they're screaming, and you're like, oh my God, this is the start of the day. Would that not get you upset? Like the kids are playing up and down, and the father's doing nothing. The father's just sitting there. All of a sudden, the doors close again, and off to the next station you're going to. And the train is shaking around, and you're moving in your seat, and the kids are taking the poles, and they're swinging themselves around. And these are 8, 9, 10-year-old kids, I'm sure of it. And the father still has said nothing. More people are coming on the subway. You're getting packed even deeper because the people are pushing themselves away from these kids that are swinging around on the poles, jumping from seat to seat. This is not a jungle gym, people. This is like a train. This is business people who are in suits, because my suit, your dress, something that you spent good money on it going to work is now getting like footprints on it, and the kids are kind of like just yelling, and the father is doing nothing. How would you feel if something like that was happening to you? You're on the train and there's nothing happening. The father's just sitting there, completely blank. He doesn't even seem to even notice his children, what they're doing. And you got coffee, or you got a stain on you. And now you got to go to work, and the people are just getting more and more upset. And then you're going up to the next station, and you're hoping that these kids are getting off. The father and the kids just get them off the train because so many people. I mean, I'm fuming. I don't know if you can even like. I'm imagining this again, and I'm fuming. How can a father bring their kids on the train and let them run it around like a jungle gym during the middle of rush hour, morning rush hour? It was unbelievable. All of a sudden, the doors open. He still sits there. Doors closed. More people are on the train now. It's packed, 100%. You couldn't get anybody else in, and the kids are running around in between them, and the father's still sitting there. I had enough. What would you do? Would you go to the father? I was like, I mean, I'm hoping you can just feel the anger, because what my anger was feeling like so was everybody else's. And then all of a sudden, we turned to the father and we said, Mister, control your kids. He just turned around, and you could see his eyes were bloodshot red. Nobody knew if he was like on drugs or what his problem was. But his kids were totally out of control. And somebody turned around and says, Sir, you got to look after your children. They're like crazy here. They're spilling coffee, ripping newspapers, stepping on people. He turned around and just looked at us and said, Look, I'm sorry. We spent the whole night at the hospital, 3 days actually. My wife was hit in a car accident. She passed away this morning. They don't have a mother anymore. I'm just not in. I apologize. You're right though. I should be looking after my children. I just don't know how right now. How would you feel in that instant? They just lost their mother. The whole train heard this. They saw the weeping of the man's face. Managing your emotions can go from complete anger to complete sorrow and sympathy for the gentleman. In a heartbeat. In a complete heartbeat, your emotions were changed from anger to sorrow or empathy for this young man. And everything that the children were doing, nobody seemed to care about. When you can manage your emotions, so they never went high, they never went low, but you're able to effectively communicate with that gentleman, right off the bat, that's what verbal Aikido is all about.
Yeah. So really, thank you for sharing that story. How did think about how did things change for you when that context of what was happening changed? So the kids were still running around screaming.
The subway's still packed.
The subway's still packed. You still spilt your coffee.
Your clothes were getting dirty.
Yeah. So how did things change? Did the actions change? Really, you changed. The inside, your perception of what was happening changed. And like what David said, it's so valuable when you're able to control that self and make things happen. So are there any other areas of your life and or your business that are causing you challenges? Is there maybe something internally that may be happening that could be impacting the outcome in those areas of your life? Just some food for thought there. So do me a favor on that sheet of paper that you have. Can you please draw 3 circles? A little one, a medium-sized one around it, and a large one outside of it. The middle one in the middle, like kind of like a donut.
Yeah, a donut.
Sure.
Or a target.
Or a target. There you go. Good job. So the middle circle is what you control. The medium-sized circle is what you manage, and then the large circle is what you influence. Majority of us put our focus on areas outside of our control. But where our focus goes is where our energy flows and that area grows. So most of us have that focus outside of our area of control. If we move it into our middle section, or what we control, that circle will increase. So our area of control increases, therefore our area of what we're able to manage for the interactions increases. Therefore, and if we're all business owners or aspiring entrepreneurs, that area that we can influence substantially increases. So try and think about areas of your life right now where you're focusing far outside of what you control. The largest step that you can take to your success and your ongoing growth is to move that focus into what you control.
Absolutely. Can I take 1 second?
You can take 2 seconds if you like.
Thank you. So if we go just back a couple slides, I just want to point out something really quick, and I think it's slide number 14, if we can just scoot over there. We noticed that the area of where we are and we're focusing is outside the circle. And what I just want to really drive home, can't do it?
Well, you can, but I'm not.
Okay, I got you.
I'm not overly great at PowerPoint here, so.
No worries, no worries. But okay, so remember when the star was just outside the circle? If your focus is out there, your business is never going to grow in network marketing. Your business, your entrepreneurship business isn't going to grow. Your relationships are not going to grow.
If you're blaming it on your upline, your downline, that's if you're in network marketing, or if you're blaming it on the economy, if you're blaming it on the US dollar, if you're blaming it on anything outside of your control.
Correct. Exactly that. You know, that there's so
You're
much out
nowhere
there.
fast.
That's right. If you're picking up the Inquirer, not saying there's anything wrong with the Inquirer magazine, and you're going through it, and then that is just feeding everything that is outside of your influence. There's no way, there's no focus outside of control, manage, or influence. You have to keep that focus on everything that you can control.
Yeah, most definitely. So if you have those 3 circles, the ones that you drew at the beginning, just make bigger ones and make sure you put that star of the focus inside that control circle. That's where it needs to be. Do not, if you're having challenges in any of your area of your life, take a look at where you're focusing. Is it in an area that you can control or not?
Absolutely.
Exactly. Okay, so now, do you want to get into verbal Aikido?
Yeah, let's get into what we have here. So,
okay.
So I just want to clarify a couple things. Approximately 49 years ago, because I'm 49 now, but
and a smidge.
And a smidge, just a smidge. But I grew up in network marketing. My parents did Amway, Regal, Avon, the whole like New Skin when it first came out 20 some odd years ago. So I grew up in network marketing, and one of the things that I always noticed was the lack of effective communication. I didn't know it then. I didn't have a clue. And I told myself I was never going to get into network marketing because of the struggles that my mom and dad appeared to have. Yeah, appeared to have, exactly. So 5 years ago, we got into network marketing, and then all of a sudden, it was like, okay, I knew what I was getting into, and I knew what I had to do, and to show Tammy, and Tammy also showed me it was a totally collaborative venture, but how to expand into the network marketing world. So what we ended up doing was when we met James McNeil about 1.5 years, coming up to 2 years actually. I met him 2 years ago this month. Mm-hmm. You met him 2 years ago next month. Yep. He was talking about verbal Aikido. And all of a sudden we started...
Well, who's James?
Oh, I apologize. That's a very good point, Mrs. Stanley. James McNeil he's world-renowned. He's been all over the world for the last 24 years now.
And a smidge.
And a smidge, too. Yes, thank you, and a smidge. But he's been teaching corporate communication to some of the top banks worldwide. And he actually traveled the world I don't know how many times. He has his own global training company that works with communication called EQ Communications.
Right.
And he's just been absolutely brilliant. He's actually in the U.S. right now, and he's working with some of the major companies in the U.S. He's also been on stage with likes of Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar. Oh, it's not coming to my
Les
mind.
Brown, Sir
Thank you
Richard
so much.
Branson. He's been on the big stage with all the big guys. And he put together a training curriculum called Verbal Aikido. So it is that 2-day experience that we were talking about, that really the entire first day is dedicated to controlling self, and the rest of the time is managing interactions and influencing others. And in conjunction with James, we have built the online home study course called Verbal Aikido for Ultimate Networking Success. And that's what we really wanted to share with you today, is that product that we have built that you can take in the comfort of your own home to learn these skills to improve your communication and therefore get ultimate networking success regardless of which business you're in.
That's right. This is the ultimate entrepreneur package. What it deals with, you see on the screen right now, it's $697. That is what it would cost you to take a 2-day experience. And what we've done is taken that whole 2-day experience and thrown it into 4 different modules. The first module is building your foundation. It's an hour-and-a-half module broken up into 4 sections. It's absolutely amazing. What we talked about today, he expands and explodes that whole process right up. Then there's also breaking inertia. So once you get the foundation of communication, effective communication skills, it allows you now to push it through. And then all of a sudden on the third one, building momentum. One of the hardest things is when we start communicating in network marketing is that we end up focusing on going too fast or going too slow. But if you can get a proper rhythm built up in effective communication, it's unstoppable. And that's the last module in this section, and that's finding your rhythm. How to become an effective communications person, you have to feel confident. It has to suit you. If you are trying to, here's an example that I like to just throw out real quick, is that I was trying to emulate my upline all the time. I was always trying to, what is this person doing? I would tape them, I'd listen to them in the car, I'd listen to Tony Robbins over and over and over as well. People, I was trying to emulate those people. But what I had to do is I had to find myself. I had to be able to be confident in my communication. And that whole package, that 2-day experience, is $697, like I said. And we've been able to wrap it up. We've taken the cream of the cream and put them into 4 modules. Those 4 modules is over 6 hours of effective, highly, highly effective, cream of the crop, pure gold communication skills.
Exactly.
So, but that really was something that was not enough. And we asked James if we can expand it even farther. There's Verbal Aikido, and then there's other programs that he had that all tied into effective communication. And there was no way that we were going to offer one without filling out the whole resume. If you were going to take James's courses just on their own, it would be over $3,600. Actually, very close to $3,800, and that's US dollars. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't have that much time, and they don't have that much capital to be able to invest right off the bat. So what we asked James is we threw it all together, and we added an additional 3 of his programs that he has. And each of these programs range anywhere from $900, $997, all the way up to $2,000 per program. And what we've done is been able to take them and put them into 3 different courses. There's sales mastery. Once you become effective in communication, how can you effectively go out and now create a sales force in yourself even? And then we ended up going into $1 Million Speaker. You know, if you're in network marketing, if you are an entrepreneur, you have to present. You have to present your ideas, you have to present your business, you have to present to other people. How can you effectively present? So you're going to be closing, your closing rate isn't going to be sitting at, let's say, 3 out of 10 or 2 out of 10. You can be closing at 50%, and if not higher, on many of the people, if you effectively are able to do it. And $1 Million Speaker gets you in front allows you to get rid of your fears and be able to stand in front of people to effectively communicate what you have to sell or have to do.
Yep.
The next one was Pure Coach. We know from experience, especially I watched as I was growing up with my dad, and then when we got into the business as well, is that coaching your downline is key. If you want to have an effective organization, an effective team, whether it's a sales team in your office or in a network marketing type of atmosphere, a pure coaching will teach you how to draw the genius out of those people to be able to excel. And the coaching is key, key, key. Now, instead of the whole 9 yards, we threw this whole package together, which you see here, 7 full modules. It is a workbook. You get audio files as well. There's so much involved here. And the other cool thing is you have it for life. And what we wanted to do was be able to put it on a platform that was secure, that was mobile, that was it's just unbelievable. And that platform is called Udemy.com, and it's so safe, and it's one of those platforms where I was so respected by what they had that it was a no-brainer to put our program on top of that. Now, what we like to do is for a limited time offer, instead of having to pay for all of James's courses, we like to offer you this course today for $248. Now, for some, that may be a little bit too much, but the content is so rich that it is so worth it. And there's been people that have told us that have built their whole business on just this content alone. It is that powerful, and it's worth so much more than $249. So if you wish to, you can use the newbie, and we've set this up so everybody can get $50 off. The newbie 2016 is the promo code that you can go right to udemy.com, plug in Ultimate Networking Success, and pop that promo code. Or we've actually made it a little bit simpler for a lot of people. You can just go to tiny URL newbie/funds.
Yeah, and the fund stands for Ultimate Networking Success. And I'm sure Bob and Mark are going to share the links with you, the coupon codes. So the posted price for the product is $298. Using the coupon code newbie2016, you'll get an instant $50 off. And like what David said, it's $3,600 plus worth of content, and we're huge believers in that this isn't something that will replace any current systems or processes, that if you are aligned with a current business, you're not replacing that system. This is an addition. This is a product that will help you to really master that control self so that you can manage interactions and influence others, and really change lives with your business, sharing your product and or your service that you're offering. So that's what we really wanted to share, and we hope that many of you will take advantage of this promo, and it is for newbies. So keep in touch, let us know how you make out, and thanks again for having us on board.
Wow. David and Tammy, thank you so much. That was fantastic. Well done. There was so much of content that you just gave to everybody here. It's hard to single out a few things. I think some of the things that resonated with me, though, the big one I think was control yourself first. And I think that's a tough lesson for some. I know there are times when I feel justified at getting angry with somebody, and I really have to realize that control in all situations is the way to go. And I also really liked your little rhyme there about energy flows where focus goes and that area grows. I like that a lot. So people, this program and Verbal Aikido is really, really a phenomenal program to get involved in. It is life-changing. It will make a difference in your life. So check it out. Use the newbie promo code there. Save yourself some bucks. So we've come to the end of this tactical webinar. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please give us some feedback. You can send us some feedback to questions@newbiesystem.com. If you've got some questions, we will forward them on to David and Tammy. You can go to the link that they've provided, and we've provided on the side of the screen here as well. Or you can just let us know what you thought of the whole thing so that we can plan future tactical webinars. So thank you again very much for showing up. David and Tammy, thank you so much for that fantastic content.
Thank you so much, Bob, and all the newbies that are out there. We wish you all the best of luck, and if there's anything we can do for you, do not hesitate to ask. Just feel free to send us questions, and Bob will make sure we get them, and we'll get them back to you as soon as possible.
Yep, congratulations, and we're so excited if you're joining the Newbie Nation or if you're a veteran Newbie Nationer. It's just great that you're venturing out into that wonderful world of becoming an entrepreneur and or enhancing your current world of being an entrepreneur. So congratulations.
Very good. Thank you again. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the show. Thank you for joining us. Hope you got a lot out of it. Take it with you tomorrow as you go back to your business. And best wishes, and may you achieve your ultimate success as well. Thanks for being with us.